Okay, let's just dive right into it. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a super fascinating look at the engine that literally powers the modern corporate world. We're talking about business analytics. Now, if you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by jargon like data mining or predictive modeling, seriously, don't worry. Today, we're breaking it all down into the ultimate tool for making sense of raw data, specifically designed for complete beginners. So, think about this for a second. If your business is a car, who's actually driving the thing? In the past, managers basically drove using gut instinct alone. Today, that's honestly like driving blindfolded. In our explainer today, we're going to lean on a really simple analogy. Data is the fuel, and business analytics is the steering wheel. It's this incredibly scientific process of transforming raw, messy information into clear insights, so you can safely and effectively steer your entire organization right toward its goals. Here's the GPS route for our journey today. We'll start with a welcome to business analytics, talk about refining our data fuel, look at the 5 core analytics types, walk through the actual business analytics process, and wrap up with how to gain a real competitive edge. All right, let's fire up the engine with Section 1, Welcome to Business Analytics, where we contrast the dashboard with the steering wheel. Okay, so there's a massive point of confusion we've got to clear up right out of the gate: the difference between business intelligence and business analytics. Business intelligence, or BI, is basically just reading your car's dashboard. It looks at historical data to tell you what has already happened or what's happening right this second. It's absolutely essential for sure, but it's passive. Business analytics, on the other hand, is active. It uses statistical models and predictive algorithms to answer the big question: what should we do next? So you're not just reading the dials, you're actively grabbing the steering wheel to change your future trajectory based on hard evidence. Moving right along to Section 2, refining the data fuel, moving from crude oil to high octane. Because before a business car can go anywhere at all, it needs fuel. And in the business world, our fuel is big data. Now, big data is defined as a large, super complex data set containing both structured data, think neat organized spreadsheets, and unstructured data, like messy, chaotic social media posts. And it is arriving at this incredibly fast velocity and in just massive volumes. Think of big data as raw, unrefined crude oil. It's constantly gushing in from your sales systems, your social media, customer feedback, website clicks, the whole shebang. But here's the catch. In its raw state, you can't put it directly into your car's engine. It absolutely has to be processed first. Which brings us to a highly technical sounding term that's actually quite simple when you break it down: ETL. It stands for extract, transform, and load. You can just think of ETL as the refinery. It extracts the crude oil, the raw data, cleans it up by fixing all the duplicates or weird errors, transforms it so it actually makes sense, and then loads it into a data warehouse, which is essentially your car's gas tank. Without this crucial cleaning and organizing process, your whole analytics engine would just sputter and stall out. All right, now that our tank is totally full, it's time for Section 3, the 5 analytics types. Let's start looking around the car and see how we actually view the road using different analytical perspectives. So the real key here is that there are exactly 5 core approaches to analyzing our business drive. We move from simply looking backward all the way to entirely automating the drive. Let's break each one down. First up is descriptive analytics. This is your classic what happened approach. Literally, just think of descriptive analytics as your rearview mirror. It summarizes historical data to show you past trends. For example, a retail chain might use a dashboard to track their monthly revenue or look at last year's holiday sales just to understand exactly when their highest sales peaked. It just gives you a crystal clear picture of what is already behind you on the road. Then, diagnostic analytics takes us a step further. This is the why did it happen approach. Imagine a check engine light flashing on your dashboard. Diagnostic analytics literally digs into the engine to find the root cause of a specific outcome. For instance, if an e-commerce platform suddenly sees a super high return rate on a certain product, diagnostic techniques will dig in and uncover that, hey, maybe it's due to a completely misleading product description. It uncovers those hidden correlations for us. Next, we shift our gaze completely forward with predictive analytics. This is the what might happen approach. Compare this to turning on your car's headlights to illuminate the dark road ahead. By using statistical models and machine learning, businesses can actually forecast future trends based on past behavior. A perfect example here is a hotel chain leveraging predictive analytics to forecast their room occupancy rates, which allows them to adjust their pricing dynamically and maximize revenue. It's a real game changer. Then we get to prescriptive analytics, which is the what should we do approach. If predictive analytics is your headlights, prescriptive analytics is your highly advanced GPS routing system. It doesn't just show you what's coming up, it actively gives you actionable recommendations on how to handle it. For example, a ride-sharing app uses optimization algorithms to recommend the absolute best, most efficient routes for its drivers, saving on fuel costs and massively improving delivery times. And finally, we reach the absolute cutting edge, cognitive analytics. This is the how can machines help us approach. Think of this as the self-driving AI of our business car. It uses artificial intelligence and natural language processing to literally mimic human thought, analyzing that massive, messy, unstructured data we talked about, like text and images. A global retail brand might use this to analyze mountains of social media chatter, picking up on incredibly subtle consumer sentiments to identify emerging fashion trends way before their competitors even notice them. So when you look at them all laid out like this, you see how all five work together in a continuous loop, from descriptive summarizing the past all the way down to cognitive unlocking entirely new insights with AI. It is your ultimate toolkit for making actual data-driven decisions. Which brings us to section 4, the business analytics process. Think of this as the road trip itself, the step-by-step journey we take to actually apply these tools. Let's walk through this condensed journey real quick. Step 1 is defining your exact destination, your business needs. Steps 2 and 3 involve cleaning up your fuel and mapping out the data relationships. Step 4 predicts what's ahead on the road. Step 5 optimizes your route. And Step 6 is taking action, measuring the results, and updating your map. It's an evolving, completely continuous cycle. Let's speed into our final section, Section 5, Gaining a Competitive Edge, and focus on actually reaching that destination. Because ultimately, this whole analytics engine is designed to get us where we want to go faster and cheaper than the competition. So why does any of this actually matter? Well, because in the modern digital era, basic information flows identically to almost everyone. Analytics is how you actually pull ahead of the pack. It gives your business unmatched agility. It allows for cost leadership by optimizing your supply chains. It dramatically improves customer loyalty by personalizing marketing, and it ensures incredibly robust risk management by spotting potential problems like fraud or machinery failure super early on. Basically, you stop reacting to situations and you start anticipating them. And let me just remind you, this isn't just some academic theory. Data literally drives industry titans. Amazon uses predictive analytics for its recommendation engine, suggesting products based on your specific browsing history. PayPal uses AI-driven analytics to detect fraudulent transactions in real time. Tesla relies on massive data analytics for highly efficient battery production. They completely dominate their markets because they have their hands firmly planted on the analytics steering wheel. But as we near the end of our explainer today, I absolutely have to share this classic rule of data science. Garbage in, garbage out, often abbreviated as GIGO. Look, if you put bad, uncleaned, or biased data into your predictive models, you are absolutely going to get bad, unreliable insights out. The quality of your fuel dictates the entire success of your journey. So data cleaning and data governance, they are totally non-negotiable. We have covered a ton of ground today, from extracting raw data to deploying entirely self-driving cognitive AI. Business analytics is no longer just some fancy luxury. It is the fundamental engine of modern decision-making. So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. Now that you actually understand how to use the dashboard, the headlights, and the steering wheel, where will your data drive your business tomorrow? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring.